Okay, brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Vulnerability School podcast. Today, I want to just give a little recap of my life. And if you're listening, you probably know the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, all the things. It's been very interesting because people are like, why are you saying that you're Jenna? I'm like, sorry, I'm just speaking up in a conversation that is about me. So yeah, very interesting. We will see what happens there. And then my mental health and my OCD, I feel like things are getting really good, especially after my hair scan and my foot zone stuff. I'm taking all the new supplements, doing all the new things, been trying to meditate more. We just had a really big event. And so I'm feeling good. And I feel like with my PMDD, like that I usually experience pretty bad before my period, like has not been as bad, which is so crazy. Like so rare. So yeah, things are looking up. And today we have one of my favorite people ever, Charity Hammond, on the podcast today.
Hello.
Hello. And she is, I've known her since February.
Yes,
since February. She came to my Galentine's event, which was so fun.
Yes.
And we did so many amazing things. Her and her mom came. Mm-hmm. And we also have another connection because both of our dads are in We Are the Day.
Yes.
Which is Jimmy Rex. I had Jimmy Rex on the podcast. He has like a men's leadership mental health group. So both of our dads are in there. And so that's why you came to my Galentine's event, right? Because kind of heard about it through that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you joined my program, Healed Girl School.
Yes.
And you got to show your tattoo.
Yes.
She got a Vulnerability is Cool tattoo. I'll have to post a picture.
Yes.
And that was like a huge moment for me. It makes me want to cry. And you showed me that tattoo. I was like, ah! So yeah, I'm your biggest fan, and I'm so obsessed with you. And I want to have Charity on so that she can kind of share her experience, because I've seen such big changes in her and your family.
Yes.
That it's been like so fun to watch you guys all step into this space and heal together.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I want you to, I feel like to start, just tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and like where you were kind of before the program.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm super excited to be here. I'm 20 years old, which it's been good. I like being 20. It's a good age, I think.
Good. Yes, we love it. I'm jealous. We all want to be you. So,
and before I joined the program, I graduated high school, and then I went to college for a semester, decided that it was not for me. So I dropped out, and the first month coming back from like being in college was really hard. Like I wasn't getting out of bed. Like I was just like not living. I was just kind of like existing, but not like living or doing anything. And I was just stuck in such a bad mental rut because like no one wants to drop out of college. Like I definitely didn't. Like it was always like my dream to go to college and be a teacher, but like I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. And I feel like it's so hard because the school system, like I'm the same way. I dropped out, got my associates, and then I was like, see ya, you know, which sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I should have tried a little harder.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not made for everyone. You know, it really is not. And you can succeed in so many other places, probably even go farther than you would have if you know, anyways, keep going.
But yeah. So I was in a really bad like mental state. And so my dad put me on this like, it felt like military strict, like schedule. And he was like, hey, you're going to get out of bed at this time. You're going to work out for half an hour. You're going to do meditation, you're going to journal, you're going to do a gratitude list like every morning. And he's like, you have to make your bed, you have to get ready, you have to clean your room. Like, so like he gave me just like a list of things that I had to do every day. And it kind of like helped get me out of it. And he's like, hey, you're going to go get a job now. So he made me apply for the job that I have now that I love so much.
Was your dad already in Watt?
Yeah. So he joined Watt the December that I dropped out. So this was like 2 months after he joined.
Okay. So he's on his like high.
Yeah. So he's on his high, and then he's trying to get me there too.
Yeah, totally.
So,
and are you thinking this is kind of annoying, or like, how do you feel about all of it?
I was definitely a little annoyed at myself more than anything, that I couldn't just like act like a normal human being.
Yeah.
I would definitely really struggle. Just like, why can't I just like get up? Like, why can't I just do it? Like, it was so like strange to me. Even when I have like my bad days now, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, why can't I just get out and be a normal person? But it was like that for a few months. I got a job. I did really good. I was connecting with my friends again, which was way nice because I stopped hanging out with them just because I didn't want to do anything.
And did you experience like this stuff before college too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always like had really bad like seasonal depression. Like the winter just like kicks my butt.
Yeah.
Every year, besides this year or like last year, but it just like kicks my butt. And so I lived at home since I dropped out of college, and then a year after I dropped out, my dad was trying to get me to join different groups, and we looked at a bunch of different ones, but we felt like I didn't connect with any of them because I felt like they were all kind of directed towards women that were married and had kids. And I was like, I can't relate to any of that.
Yeah.
So my dad was like, hey, you and your mom are going to go to this Galentine's event. And I was like, I was so nervous. And like, I was
so crazy. You're so nervous because now you're like the center of attention to every event.
I was so nervous. And then like we got in and they're like, hey, go find your name tag. And I wasn't sitting next to my mom. And I literally had to go into the bathroom and breathe for like 5 minutes because I was like, oh no, like I'm like, at least like I would have been able to sit by my mom, but I couldn't. Like I was just like by myself. So, but the girls at the event were awesome. Like your helpers were so good at talking to me and like getting me into it and everything. And everyone that I like met was so nice.
And then you realize that everyone else is a little bit nervous too.
Yeah. And then we did the stand for your sister, and I was like, okay, like this is good. Like, cause one of them was like, were you nervous to come to this event? And like everyone stepped forward. I was like, oh, yes. Okay, good.
That's like my favorite to do because literally everyone, I am nervous to be there. Yeah. And this is probably my 8th event that I'd thrown at that point. And I'm so nervous. I'm sweating bullets. I always wear a tank top because I know I'm going to be sweating, you know, like everyone is so nervous. And I love that activity because it just shows how connected we really are, you know? Yeah.
But yeah, so it was way good. I ended up getting this vulnerability is cool tattoo because I was like so obsessed with like just like the message of like it's okay to be vulnerable. And especially I feel like I grew up in a household where emotions weren't the most present thing. Like they weren't like shunned or anything, but they just weren't very like present.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember crying a bunch when I was little or anything, and it was just kind of like they're there but they're not talked about, like hush hush thing. Like the first time I remember my dad crying, I was like in my room and he got a call from his mom that his grandma had died. And I remember hearing him cry from the other room and being like, oh, like this is serious.
Yeah.
And then like, so emotions were never like big talked about when I was little. So I got the tattoo and I was like, okay, this is my new motto. Like, this is like, this is what I'm going to live by. Like, why have all these emotions if you're not going to talk about them, you know? And it's okay to talk about how you're feeling and stuff.
And something, sorry, I keep interrupting, but I just have so many thoughts.
Yes.
Something that I've been thinking about so much lately is that like your emotions are constantly coming up. You know, people are like, I don't have time for therapy. I don't have time for this. But like your emotions and your trauma is coming up every single day. Like, are you going to process it in a healthy way? Or are you going to come and let it be road rage and be anxious and be sleeping in your bed all day? And like, what way are you going to let these emotions move forward? Because it's energy in motion. You know what I mean? So like, where are you going to let that go? So I think that's really cool that you tapped into all of this.
Yes. So, my dad and my mom and my brother were all in self-help groups like this. My dad is in We Are the They, and my mom.
Gosh, yeah, everyone.
Yeah. And my mom was in the Queens program, and my brother was in their like Next Gen program. And so I was like, hey, I got to do it. And so we'd been searching for a group for me. And then that night you came to me and you're like, hey, watch my Instagram. So I like turned notifications on. I was like so ready for you to post that you were opening this session of Healed Girl School up. Cause I was like, okay, this is the one. Like I could like feel it in my bones. And
wow, I didn't know all of this. This is so cool.
No, so you posted it and then you're like, it's opening in like 2 days. So I set a timer on my phone for like 5 minutes before like tickets were gonna open, and I like was at work and I was like, I have to go to the bathroom, and then I went into the bathroom and I like got in as soon as I could because I was like, I have to. But yeah, I was very excited to kind of get to be in a group with women that were my age and not my age, and just kind of lots of different like areas of life and stuff. We're all so different from different paths, and like where we are now is so different, but it's nice because we can all kind of connect and like use that to help each other. Like it's been, I'm the youngest in the group, and it's so nice to like have older sisters kind of.
Yeah.
Because there are some things that like with
that are all so different. We're
Yeah.
all so different. Yeah.
And there are some things that like I'd never dare ask my mom about. Just like things that are awkward. Like you want to have like an older sister to talk to,
Yeah.
but I'm the oldest. So
Yeah.
I was like, it's so nice to like have older sisters that I can talk to about stuff. And yeah, it's been really good so far.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
It is cool because even like we have Annika, who's a trans woman, and I don't think I would have ever learned about someone in that situation ever.
Yeah.
But like she's so open with us and we're able to learn so much from her. She has so much knowledge.
Yes.
And then we have, I don't know, just so many different people in so many different walks of life that honestly, I would probably never be friends with anyone.
Yeah.
Like just because we don't run in the same circles. And now they're like all of our best friends. And like, and I think something that's so special about Healed Girl School and why I love it and benefit so much myself from it is that you get to show up as whoever you want to be. Like these people have no idea how you've shown up in the past. They have no idea that you were stuck in your bed forever, you know, or experienced seasonal depression. I mean, now we probably know these things.
Yeah.
Now we know you, but like you just get to show up and be whoever you want. Cause I think sometimes your family knows you, they know how to trigger you, they know how you're going to react. And so it's just constantly like almost not feeling like you can totally be yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we're able to like let these walls down.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to hear about the changes that you have seen in your dad. And then I want to talk about the changes we've seen in you.
Yeah. I love getting to talk about my dad. He's the most amazing person ever.
Wait, so it's just for everyone listening that if you haven't listened to another episode. So it's We Are the They. It's like a men's leadership group run by Jimmy Rex. They have like retreats. They have like, a group me message that they write in all the time. They have weekly Zoom calls, which is very similar to my program. And yeah, so her dad joined this and there's 50 men in each group.
Yes.
And you just get to like, they get to be vulnerable. Like men, I feel like they're just taught to hide their emotions and their feelings. And so it's so powerful.
Yeah.
My dad's in it too. I saw my dad cry for the first time in my entire life after joining this group. We talked about my sexual abuse for the first time in my whole life. Like it's just really cool. So yeah.
But yeah, so he joined 2 years ago. He's almost at the end of his session.
Oh, that's crazy.
So yeah, it's been awesome. Like, my dad was in the fire service and it really took a toll on him mentally towards the end to where he had to like take a step back and he doesn't work in the fire service anymore. He went to therapy, but his body would get so sick every time he went to drive to work that he was like, I can't do this anymore. And it was really affecting him mentally. Like just the calls and the things that he's seen and the fire station not feeling like a brotherhood anymore like it used to. And he was really struggling, especially because like he'd drive up north and be gone for 2 days and we just wouldn't see him. And then he'd come back and while he was gone, we'd have like this schedule and things would run a certain way when he was gone and things would run a different way when he was home. So it was just kind of like a lot of back and forth and we all missed having him like around the house. And especially because
Did you tell that he was being like affected?
Yeah. Yeah. It was never talked about, but like you could tell.
So did you just kind of feel confused?
Yeah. It was definitely not like talked about at all. It was like he definitely like was like, I'll just work through it myself. And like, but even when he was home, he wasn't present.
Yeah.
Like he's talked about it before, but he's like, he will watch TV and just zone out and not be like, he'll be home, but not like there.
I'm sure so many people can understand that. Yeah.
So he joined this group. He joined the tribe first, which is like one of the programs that he has. And then the week before their Bear Lake trip, which is like the first retreat that they go on, my dad got a call from Jimmy and was like, hey, we have a spot open in group 2. You need to be in Bear Lake this weekend. So my dad drove up with strangers that he didn't know. And it's been really powerful getting to watch him just like channel his emotions and connect to different things. And it's nice being able to like talk to my dad and
That's
like
crazy.
really talk to him about emotions and things that are going on. And we can like have conversations and have different opinions and have it be okay without it like me having to like back down and like shell myself and just like, okay. And him like getting angry about it. We can just have different opinions.
Yeah.
And when we're struggling, we can come to each other and talk, which what is part of what I've loved about joining your program is I've been able to help him with some of his stuff too. And so it's been really amazing to kind of get to watch us all grow as a family. Because like I said, my mom and my brother have both been on huge like mental and physical health kicks for a little bit. So it's been really amazing.
It's so rare.
Yeah.
That is so rare that your whole entire family is doing this, you know?
Well, everyone but my sister, but she'll get there eventually.
Yeah. It will hit her.
It'll hit her.
Yeah.
We'll pin her down eventually, but
yes. So do you feel like it's like so different, like the way that you and your dad communicate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know. It's because one of his first things that he told me about that he learned, he's like, I learned on the call today because they were talking about masculine and feminine. And he's like, I learned that women, when they are talking about a problem they have, sometimes they just want to talk about the problem. They don't want it to be
yes,
fixed.
thank you.
And so so he'll ask me, he'll be like, hey, do you want a solution or do you just want to talk about it? And it's so nice to not be like, be able to talk to him about problems and not have him be like, okay, so why don't you do this?
Yeah.
Well, you could solve it by doing this and this. Mm-hmm. And so it's way nice to just get to like communicate way better with him. And like me and my brother, we have a better relationship now. And me and my mom are able to talk more. And so it's just been really amazing to kind of grow as a family and just see everyone's progress from like the 2 years that we've been doing it. Like my brother lost like 70 pounds and it's been crazy. He's 16 right now, but last year he lost 70 pounds. He did 75 hard at 15 years old, lost 75 pounds, and he's still like working out hard and just eating healthy and all the things. Like he's the one that encourages me to eat healthy because I'll go to buy something and he'll be like, oh, Charity, that has so much sugar, and I'll be like, I know, and then I'll put it back.
That's so fun.
It's fun sometimes. But then there's other times where we're like, dude, I just want some ice cream.
Yeah.
I just want some ice cream.
Yeah.
I know it's unhealthy. I just want some ice cream. But it's been really cool getting to watch him grow and like
and for you to be able to be that example to him and help him have a healthy relationship with a woman too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was an example for me. Like he's like part of the reason that I joined. Like we started 75 Hard together and I quit after like 20 days because I couldn't do it, but he kept going. And it was like so inspirational to like see my little brother like grow up like physically, mentally, and just like be there to watch it all. It's been really amazing.
So I want to hear about like your experience in Healed Girl School, like any aha moments you've had, or like from the beginning of Healed Girl School to like how you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
Like anything that you want to share.
Okay. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of changes in myself, and I think the people around me have seen changes in me too. If you would have asked me in March when this program started to come and do a podcast, I would have told you no. And no, I wouldn't have told you no. I would have said yes, and then I would have came and sat here silently the entire time because I just hated talking. Like, it was just made me so uncomfortable. And like, even now I'm a little like nervous doing this, but like, who wouldn't be? But I'm more confident and I can talk more and I'm okay with talking and sharing my emotions. And I used to really struggle with like sharing my emotions because it took me so much time to think out what I wanted to say because I didn't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And be like, have people think something else.
Totally.
So it used to take me so long. But now I'm like, if it takes me long, it takes me long. Like, it's whatever. Like, they can deal with it. If they really care, they could like sit and wait with me, which has been really nice with like my boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's so understanding of like, okay, she needs 5 minutes to just sit and thinking about what to tell me.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of that too comes with confidence.
Yeah.
Like confidence in your voice that what you're saying is good,
Yeah.
And it's okay to express your
even
emotions.
If it's not good.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Because just like we had this, we just had an event, and I say we because Charity is just part of it, but, and we had Nate, the therapist that has been on this podcast, talk about how, did you go to his workshop?
I did watch it.
Oh, you did? Okay. So he had this pendulum, and on one side was your very good, best self. And the other side of the pendulum was like the bad you, like kind of your darkest parts of you. And how he had this pendulum and like it would swing from one side to the other. And you would have to like hold your hand up.
Yeah. So you wrote a paper and you filled out all on one half you wrote all the best parts of yourself, and on the other half you wrote all the worst. And as it swung, you'd have to like raise that piece of paper. And it was really cool to see how like, even if you're your best self, it's not being your best self doesn't mean your true self. Like, not everyone is their highest good self.
And that's exhausting to think that we have to be there. Just like because I didn't see the whole thing because I was just running the whole show. So I'm like in and out everywhere. But I saw that people were like getting tired holding their arm up. Yeah. Like, it's tiring to be your best self 24/7. Yeah. And I think that's something that I'm trying to process, you know, I think all of us, but like, it was cool for him to like talk about the bad parts. Like, yeah, we all have these bad parts, but wait, like, tell kind of like the summary of how he ended it.
So he was just talking about how being at either extreme end isn't going to be your true self. Some people may think that their worst self is their like true self, but really your true self is right down in the middle. Like, your true self is a combination of your bad parts and your good parts, all culminating and put together to be the person that you are.
And that's when you're the most human.
And that's when,
real.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was so
It was so good.
And I feel like that's something that I feel like that helps you become way more confident too, understanding that. For me too, because I'm like, oh, like, I feel like I try my hardest to be my best self, but like, sometimes I offend people. Yeah. And sometimes I hurt people and I don't mean to, but it's because I'm not just pure perfect. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even though we want to be there, but it's like, why am I trying to be that when I will never be that? And I like something he said about that too. He compared it to like Jesus and Satan, especially growing up with a Mormon background. Yeah. Like, if you're not Jesus, then you're Satan. If you're not, but the truth is you're not either of them. Yeah. You are just you in the middle, and we cannot strive to be this. Yeah. We cannot.
This is so unrealistic.
We can try to be like Jesus, you know, or like these figures but yeah, we have to be in the middle. Anyways. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so that was cool. But
yeah. I've definitely noticed a big jump in my confidence and just like my bravery too, kind of like I feel like those words are like the same, but different. Like, I feel like I'm more outgoing than I used to be. And just like, I've noticed a big, like, I used to stress about every little thing. Like, my inner voice was so like, what if this happens? What if you get into a crash and die? What if this happens? What if this happens? To every little thing that I did or didn't do. Like, I'd choose to do something else, and my brain would be like, that was the wrong choice. That was the wrong choice. You should have done something else. Like, all the time. And I think throughout the program, I've just kind of realized that like, having that voice in my head that was telling me that everything that I was doing was wrong did nothing for me. It didn't protect me from anything. It did nothing for me at all besides like hold me back. It stopped me from doing so many things because I was afraid. And so like today for this podcast, like I texted my mom and I was like, hey, I'm going to go record this podcast. And she's like, how are you? Are you nervous? I was like, yeah, I'm nervous, but like, it's a good nervous. And I was like, so like before when you like talked about it, like a few months ago, me coming on, I was so nervous. But today I was just like, you know, we're going to go and we're going to record and I'm going to say what I say. And if we end up with a podcast that's so bad and there's nothing that she can post, at least I get to hang out with Jenna for an hour. Like, it's literally like not like, oh, well. Yeah, so I just had to like step back and be like, things are going to happen the way that they happen. Even as bad as I think they're going to get, that's not as bad as it's going to get. And like,
it's so true. Like that, those little, it never serves you. It really doesn't. And I feel like literally 90% of the time, everything goes good. And you wasted so much brain power. And I say this for myself too, like so much brain power just like makes me want to cry. Just like stressing. Like, why do we do this to ourselves? Wait, did you say the bully thing?
I haven't yet. No.
But you
I
said,
did. Yes,
that was
yes,
you.
yes.
Okay. We'll get into that.
Yeah. So I've just noticed that like I set so high of expectations for myself. And I used to have so many like voices in the back of my head telling me that everything I was doing was wrong, that I just kind of like stopped listening. And I learned that like if you set too high of expectations that are unattainable, like I would set expectations for myself that were literally physically, mentally, emotionally impossible for me to get to. Like so high up there that there was no way I was going to get to them. And it was so draining, like constantly not meeting up to that standard. That was I could never get to. So I've like realized that like I don't set expectations for anything anymore. Like anything at all. I just go and I do the things and it comes out the way it comes out.
And that takes a lot of mental work. So that's impressive. Yeah.
Like I have to fight against it, but like it's
because now you know it doesn't serve you. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So like today for the podcast, like I said, no expectations. I was like, we're just going to go, we're going to do, it'll turn out the way it does.
And it's always great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's been something really big for me too, is just being able to like not argue with the voice, like the anxiety that's always in the back of my head, but be able to like work with it and be like, okay, that's not true.
And just acknowledge it. Like, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Feel anxious. Like, I feel like the more that we push against it, the worse that it gets.
Oh, for sure.
Like we have to almost lean into that resistance and then it gets so much easier.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying on our calls recently that like I have been imagining myself when I feel all this stress and all this emotion, I just like imagine myself putting it all into a little ball and just setting it on the shelf. It's here, it's with me, it's there, but like I don't have to fully be immersed in it. Yeah. But I am acknowledging it, and it's crazy just like doing these little visualizations and then it like actually feels better. Instead, because we've went our whole life, so just pushing it all away, all away, don't come up. But then we're making it come up even more, which is so crazy. Okay, I want to hear, you need to talk about your bully experience.
Okay, so we went to a retreat in St. George over the summer, and it was so good. Like I want to live at the retreat forever.
Same. Like it was my first retreat I ever did. So I was really nervous, but the thing is, I feel like when you're doing good things, it just works out, and it was I want to live that.
Literally amazing.
Yeah.
Like getting up, being able to get up every morning and do yoga and a meditation and drink my lemon water with my girlies and just like sit there and just be in such like a positive, like, it was so positive in there sometimes that it was like suffocating. Like just all the time, there was so much positive and feminine energy just like all over.
And we're not used to it. Yeah.
So it was like, I want to live there. I'd move to a commune and and join the Jenna Cole. The second she opens it, I'll be there. I'll be the first one signed up.
I'm honored. And I believe that.
And so one of the activities that we did there, so we did breath work. It was my first time doing breath work and I was nervous, but I had set such high expectations because my mom and dad had both done it and had like really big experiences with it. So we were in there, we were about halfway through and I just could not get into it. Like I was trying my hardest to like lean into it and I was doing all the breaths that I could, even though my lungs like felt like they were on fire. Like they're like, stop, please stop.
Yeah.
And I was like so mad at myself. Like I was sitting there like fuming, I felt.
Because were you not like in the mental state yet?
Yeah. Like
that's actually the worst. It is horrible
like
to be
I wasn't there
and
I was like doing all the breaths and I was like, oh, this sucks so bad. Like this sucks.
But you get like monkey brain.
Yeah. And I was like getting distracted from other girls and just like all the things that were happening. And she had us stop doing the 3-part breath and she had us take a deep breath and hold it for as long as you could, like until you felt like you were going to pass out. And I held my breath and then I let it go and my entire body like froze. Like I couldn't move my toes, my fingers, like anything. It was like nothing was happening. And I like tried to raise my hands for help because they said like, if you need help, like just raise your hands. And I couldn't. So I just had to like lay there like frozen. I stopped doing the breaths. I like tried to like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. And I laid there like frozen until the end of the breath work.
Wow. I did not know this.
Yeah. So it was like, I couldn't tell you how long it was. It felt like it was forever that I just like laid there with my hands like this, like frozen, like not being able to move at all. And so I was like, well, I'm holding on to something. I don't know what it is. But then we went out and talked after the breath work and stuff.
So was your brain just still in monkey brain?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of miserable.
It was not the funnest, but we went out and talked with everyone after. And then after everyone went inside and I went and sat by the pool and I called my dad and I called my boyfriend and I was just sitting there talking and then I hung up and I just sat there by myself and I was like, hey, what is going on? Like, why did I have that reaction? Out of all the things that could have happened, that was not what I expected. And I was like, I like like the thing holding me back is me. Like I'm the one that's so afraid of progress and moving forward that I like am holding myself back to it. And I think that's why my body froze up so much, is because I'm the one holding myself back. And so the next day we went to, I can't remember the name. Sand Hollow. Mm-hmm. Yep. And we got dissolvable paper, and on the paper we were supposed to write forgiveness letters out of love.
The Ono prayer.
Yeah.
And guys, I can't even remember, and this was my freaking retreat. What did we write on the paper?
Releasing things with love.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to write a letter.
Like some girls like shared about like their experience like being raped, and then they like were that person that they're holding on to that hurt them so bad they like needed to release it with love. So yeah, that was our focus of like, yes, we have been so hurt, but we cannot let this hold us back anymore.
Yeah. So we were supposed to write a letter to release things with love. And I didn't do that. I wrote a hate letter to myself, basically. Like I titled it Dear Charity. And I wrote about how I was the one I was hurting me the most out of anyone else. It was me. And I am my own biggest bully. Like
Kills.
I know. My mom says I need to get that on a t-shirt, but it's probably out there somewhere already. But and I just like as I was writing this letter, I was like, I am so mean to myself for no reason at all. Like I don't deserve this. I would never be this mean to anyone else, but I'm being this mean to myself. Like that's so ridiculous. And so I wrote the letter, and I wrote all the ways that I'm being mean to myself and how I'm going to stop doing that. And can I swear?
Yes.
At the end of the letter, I wrote, I love you, but fuck you, Charity Hammond. And I signed it, and I like folded it up, and everyone else was reading their letters, and they're all like positive and like releasing kindly. And then I go and I'm like, so I hate you because yeah. It was like, and Jenna's like, it's okay. So.
Yeah, no. I thought that was so powerful. When you said the words, I am my biggest bully, I was like, I literally couldn't handle it. I think I brought it up to you like the whole retreat. Like I was like, holy cow, we truly are all our own biggest bully. And it's so sad. And that was just so profound that you said that in that way. Like that was such a big breakthrough for you, but I think that was a breakthrough for every single girl that was there as well. You know, like it was just so powerful that you came up with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. We really are. And it's so stupid. Like, why? What's the point?
Exactly. Like, the only person I'm hurting is myself. And like, Absolutely. I'd never do this to anyone else.
Hurting other people too, because you're not taking care of yourself. Yeah.
So it was like, that was a really big like realization for me. And I remember going into the water and getting baptized.
Oh yeah. Wait, okay, I have to explain that. So we had this dissolvable paper. I cannot speak lately. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. We had this dissolvable paper, and you wrote like the letter that everything you're releasing with love. And when you walked into the water, the paper dissolved, but people were walking by it, and it literally looked like we were doing baptisms at Sand Hollow.
You had to dunk your head under the water too.
Yeah. I said you have to go all the way in the water just for kicks and giggles.
So we were walking out there. Everyone was watching, standing in a semicircle around you. You walked out there by yourself. You stood there. You said the Hopo Ono prayer, and then you had to dunk yourself underwater.
And then the paper dissolved.
And I remember like coming up from the water and feeling like lighter.
Like a release.
Yeah, totally. Like there was such a huge release for me.
Not the baptism. It literally felt like a baptism.
There were people like canoeing by that like stopped and like watched and just like...
There was a lady that was taking a video, and I freaked out. I was so pissed. I was like, this is not cool. I literally looked at her and I went like this. Like an old Karen.
But yeah, it was like, that was a really big realization for me. It's like, I'm the one hurting myself the most. Like, no, it's not anyone else. Like, no one else is being mean to me. Everyone else in my life loves me and supports me. But I'm the one holding myself back and being mean to myself. And so that was probably like one of the biggest, like, oh my God, this is what I needed to learn here. And yeah, I think I've just improved. Like I can talk more than I could, and I just feel more confident in all things. I wear clothes that I wouldn't normally wear because I'm more confident with my body, and recently I've been going out of my way to wear things that make me uncomfortable. Like on Saturday, I wore this like black, I don't even know how to describe it, like one piece workout set, and it made me so uncomfortable because like it was a tight, so you could like see all the things, and it made me so uncomfortable. But I was like, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna wear it anyway, and it's okay. Literally no one cared. Everyone said it was cute. Like, and so I've been going out of my way, like intentionally, to like wear things that make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because it's like exposure therapy. No one cares what you're wearing.
No one.
Literally no one cares.
Everyone's so worried about themselves.
And if they do, they're weirdos. So
even the people you're closest to, at the end of the day, they're in their own head and they're thinking about themselves. Even your boyfriend, even your dad, even your mom. Like at the end of the day, you go to bed with yourself in your own brain. And why are we so worried about what everyone else thinks?
Literally, I was like, and if they do care, they're weirdos.
Yeah.
So like, who cares what I wear? So I've been, that's been way nice to be able to buy things and be like, this is cute. And then buy it and not be like, oh, about my stomach.
Yeah.
And my arms and
Wait, okay. I feel like something that helps me with that thought is definitely Jessica Janae. Like
that class.
Our Lord and Savior.
Yes.
But okay, yeah, I want you to share about that class and your experience.
Oh, it was way good.
So we had Jessica Janae come and we did, I would say it's like a sensual dance class. Like not like
it was like a little sexy, a little sensual, but it wasn't like stripper.
Yeah. It was like sacred.
Yeah.
I would say it was sacred, spiritual.
It was like slow and just like you felt very in your body. And it like didn't feel like it was for anyone else. It was like for me. Like I was there and in my body. And the class was so much fun. We did it in this little teepee. It was the most
none of us are dancers.
Yeah. I was like, it was the most like sacred experience ever because we were just in there and she taught us this dance and it was easy, but it was easy but it still looked like really good. And I remember just doing it and she had us do it in the mirrors and I just like closed my eyes. I was like, I'm not even going to watch myself. And I just did it. And there were a few times where, cause I used to dance.
Oh, you did? I'm like, none of us dance.
Yeah, I did drill in high school for a little bit. And there were a few times where I wouldn't get the choreography exactly right. And my brain would be like, oh, come on. Like, this is easy. And then I'd be like, no, this is like, well, it doesn't matter if I get the counts exactly right. Oh, no.
Oh, like when we were in the class. Yeah. I feel like one of the things that we talked about that night too was that like, at least my biggest takeaway with that, it was like, wow, I think I've lived my whole life thinking my body is for other people. It's for like the man's eye and it's for what women think of me. Like if I'm skinnier than them or if I'm prettier than them or if I'm bigger than them or like always thinking about what everybody else thinks about me. And literally that night, the first time in my brain it clicked like, oh, my body is for me.
Yeah.
Like my body is for me. Okay. And I think that was so powerful.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even understand how much that dance class would be like so beneficial for us. Like now we are all hooked. We all want to go to these dance classes and like I'm really not a dancer. I can twerk at the club, but I cannot follow choreography. But like, yeah, it was just so beautiful. Just like fully embracing ourselves. And I think it's so powerful too doing it in our group together because we all know each other. But that's like something we've never done together. But like we get to do it. We get to be whoever we want to be. And it's like I feel like no one held back. Like, everyone really got into
fun.
it. It was beautiful.
And we all sat there and cheered for each other. Like we take turns and we'd watch and we'd just like scream and cheer. And it was like so much fun to like feel like just like the energy in the room because it was like vibrating in there. Like it was so amazing just like getting to see everyone like in their own bodies and not worry about anything. It was so cool.
Yeah. Even Haley, she's pregnant. She like takes her shit off.
She was killing it. Yeah. She did so good.
Yeah. But just in her bra, just going ham because she's like so hot. She doesn't care. That was beautiful.
It was so much fun and like so connecting to like my body, which I've like never really had a good relationship with. Like I've always had like a false like narrative about what my body looks like in like my brain. I've always like
body dysmorphia. Yeah.
So I've always like thought I was either too fat or too skinny or just like stuff like that. And I like was finally able to accept, like, this is just my body. It looks the way it looks.
Jessica said one time, like, what are you going to do? Spend the rest of your life hating yourself?
Yeah.
Like, what is the point?
Like, that's such a miserable way to live.
Yeah.
So I've definitely just been like connecting.
And do you feel like the more that you've done that, do you feel like your boyfriend also like respects you more? I mean, he probably respected you before, but for example, for me, like in dating, like I feel the more confidence I have, the more that people see that, and the more even they're more attracted to me because I fully embrace who I am. You know what I mean? Instead of like having all these insecurities and these doubts and like tiptoeing around, like we have to take up space.
Yes.
We were born to take up space. There is space for us. And yeah, that was so beautiful.
I know. We were doing, at the event on Saturday, we were doing breath work, and my boyfriend Corey did it with us.
Yeah.
And he was like, afterwards we were talking about it, and I sat there and laughed like the entire time. I don't know why, but I was just so giggly. And like, that was the first time I'd done breath work and not put any expectations on it. So I wasn't upset that I wasn't like crying or anything.
Yeah.
But I just sat there and giggled the entire time. And he's like, why, like, were you giggling? Like, did you hear something funny? I was like, no, it's just a release of emotion.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a release.
Beautiful.
As like, it's the same as me screaming or crying. Like, it's the same thing. It's just a release.
That was a beautiful
It was
breathwork session.
so
It made me
good.
cry. Like my biggest focus was for people to know that you can have a voice. Like when we're little, we're taught that you can't. It's like, don't cry, don't make this a scene, don't do this. And so that inner voice, like it gets shut down over and over again. We don't trust ourselves, and we don't show up as who we really are. So we had people screaming at the top of their lungs, crying,
Howling.
sobbing, howling
At the moon.
Yeah.
It was like,
it sounds literally crazy, but like witchcraft shit, but it was so cool. Like,
Yeah.
And like my grandma was there and my uncle was there, and they like, I mean, I don't think my grandma totally got into it, but my uncle did. He was breathing and he was like letting out emotions. My 10-year-old little cousin was there, and and it was just, I'm like, this is what we were literally born to do. Like, I would way rather be somewhere where people being raw and real and fucking weird than be with people that are pretending they don't have emotions and they have no soul and they are just like this block, you know? Like, you just feel so much more seen. I'm like, that's how I want to live my life. I remember walking around in that breathwork session, helping people and like helping facilitate or whatever. And I was just like, this is where I belong.
Yeah, it was like, because there was a lot of people there too. So it was like such a big group. And we were all screaming and crying.
There was
and
like
laughing.
70 people.
Yeah, it was so like amazing to like be able to connect with everyone that way. Because when you're doing breath work, you feel like you're the only person in the room, but you also feel so connected to every other person there.
And when you're vibrating too, like, and you feel the energy, it's just like,
it's like electric. It's so amazing.
And I think it's beautiful to hear the people around you crying, because it shows you that you can also do that. You can scream, you can release emotions. Like, I would go and hold these girls while they were crying, and I would just start screaming and they would start screaming, because I was like, I want them to know that they can. They can use their voice. This is the time. Like, you've been shut down your whole life, but not right now. Like, we are creating the space for you to scream and feel it. And I'm like, it makes me sad that people don't experience that. You know? I can't even imagine what it's like with the walk guys, with all those men screaming. Thank God I'm not there, because I'd be scared. The feminine energy, that's where I want to be. You know? But it's so cool. Yeah, that was really beautiful. Okay, so in all of this, like the breath work that you've done, like all this is so new for you, which is so exciting. Like, it's so cool. And honestly, like, I'm really happy that we're having this conversation, because like I do all of this stuff, but like, I don't know, I'm emotional, but like I do all this stuff all the time, and I don't really like, I don't know exactly how you feel all the time. Like, I hear a little bit on the calls, but like, I don't know your full experience. You know what I mean? And like, I am so in it. This is my second program. I throw all these events. I'm so listen to mental health podcasts all day, read books. Like, I'm so invested in it that I don't feel like I fully can comprehend how it affects other people. Like, and I've been this way like my whole life, so obsessed with mental health. So it's, so anyways, I love hearing about it, but I just wanted to know like how you feel like you show up for yourself now compared to how you did before.
I'm definitely, when I show up for myself, I show up for myself very differently. I'm kinder to myself in just all things, whether it's what I'm wearing, what I'm doing, how I'm speaking. able to like be kinder to myself and let myself just kind of breathe and not put so much pressure on myself that didn't need to be there.
Like live your life.
Yeah, exactly. And just be able to live without like having the expectations that I set on myself. I take better care of my body too. Like I eat healthier-ish, like, you know, but I try to make healthier choices when I'm eating, and I try to move my body at least a little bit every day, which is way more than I was doing. And I move my body at least a few minutes a day, which is way more than I used to do. And so it's nice. I have a routine that I do every day that kind of just helps me kind of.
Yeah. Wait, tell us about it. What do you do?
Yes. So I wake up every
I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like you can learn all of this stuff and it's so exciting and so important, but sometimes it's a little overwhelming. Like we learn so many things, and I share so many different tactics and methods. Like for example, breath work, like daily breath work, or meditating, or doing the lemon water, or going on walks, or working out. Like there's literally so much. So you definitely have to figure out what works exactly for you. So yeah, share with us what's working for you.
Yeah. So I wake up a little early every morning, and I will do meditation, just like a 3-minute one.
Okay. And is it like a guided, or do you just like silent?
Most of the time I'll put on like a song, like the Grateful Song by
St. Finnegan or something.
St. Finnegan. Yeah. That's literally my favorite song ever in the entire world.
That's my alarm to wake up to every day, so I don't hate myself.
So I'll put that song on, or there are a few different songs that I'll put on and just sit there for the entire song. Just if I can, I'll go outside and just sit on my back porch and just breathe and close my eyes and just kind of like prepare for the day and like center myself. That's why I like going outside, is because I can sit on the grass and I can just feel the grass on my feet and my hands and ground a little bit. And then I do daily gratitude too. I have a little gratitude journal where every day in the morning I write 3 things, then at night I write 3 things. And it's just been nice because I try to get like really specific with it. Like I don't just like my family, which is good. Like if that's what you're writing, that's good. But I try to get so specific with it.
Yeah.
Like today, one of the ones I wrote this morning was, I'm grateful for my brother who goes and gets Costa Vida with me. And
yeah, I love that.
Like it
helps you appreciate the little things.
Yeah, and like it, when you're looking for positive things, more positive things happen. So if you're out there looking for the good positive things to be grateful for, then you're going to notice that these good positive things are happening all over. You're just not noticing because you're so focused on the negative.
The opposite. Yeah.
So I do daily gratitude. I try to do at least a little bit of stretching or yoga every morning. Sometimes I do like full 15-minute yogas, but other times it's literally just me sitting in bed, just like, and stretch and stretch.
Yeah.
And like, just like.
Well, I don't do that, so I'm very impressed.
Getting some movement in my body in the morning to like wake me up. And then throughout the day, I've been really selective about what music I listen to recently, because I've realized that like the music that you listen to dictates your mood so much, especially in the morning. So like in the morning, I don't listen to any music that swears, or like I'll put on a reggae and like my Satsang, which is another one of my favorite artists, and just like calm music, or just like music that's about good vibes and stuff, instead of like, I love like 90s hip hop rap. But sometimes that's not the best thing to listen to in the morning because it sets your mood. I try to stay off my phone in the morning, at least until I get to work. And that's really helped too, because I would procrastinate getting ready, and then I'd be getting ready last minute, and I wouldn't have as much time to get as ready as I want to, and then I'd be rushing out the door, and I wouldn't have time to do all the things that I'd want to do. And
it's just like your brain immediately seeing your phone and all the notifications and all that stress just filling your body. Like I've totally noticed a difference too.
And then throughout the day, I will only listen to certain kinds of music if I'm okay to feel, or like okay with like being in that mindset.
Yeah. I feel like you've become more sensitive to like kind of the energy a little bit.
Oh, for sure. I'm like a big energy person now. Like,
I feel like you're just so much more connected to yourself. So like you can feel that more.
Yeah. Like I'm a big energy person. Like I don't know. I feel like now I feel different people's energies and other things' energies so intensely, and which is a good thing, but sometimes it's a bad thing too, because I'm definitely an empath. So when other people have negative energies, it puts me in like a negative energy space. But most of the time it's like way good, because like when other people have bright, happy energies, then that like hits with my energy and it just like combines, and it's just like so like big and bubbly. And but yeah, and then at night I do a meditation again, and I journal about my day, and I do my gratitude again. And a big thing for me is doing skincare too. Is I started doing like a skincare routine, and it's only like 5 things that I put on my face, and it only takes me like 5 minutes, but it's just like time at the end of the day that I can spend alone, like just by myself.
And actually, like, you're like kind of just connecting with yourself, you know?
And like, it makes me feel way better, because acne is definitely something that I've really struggled with in the past. And like, that's another thing that I like realized in your group is like, when I was little, my dad I got acne really bad in like the 3rd grade. So like way before everyone else.
Yeah.
And my dad and my aunt would sit there and pick at it whenever I had anything. And so it made me so self-conscious about having any acne on my face that even now I kind of struggle. But I realized like we were doing our inner child work, and that was something that came up for me. And my dad was like, so you have any bad dad wounds, kind of like teasing and stuff.
You're like, actually?
I was like, I mean, technically. And I told him, I was like, it really like affected like how I like view acne, which is such like a normal thing. Everyone has acne. It's just a thing. And he's like, oh, I didn't even realize, because like that's just how his mom was with acne, with him and his sister.
Totally.
And he's like, I didn't even realize it could like affect you that way. And so.
But the cool thing is that I feel like if you hadn't done that inner child work and had that realization, you probably would have recreated that too with your child.
For sure.
Because that's the way you were raised. So I feel like it's really exciting, because I feel like everyone's kind of just breaking like these generational traumas, which I actually have been thinking about this a lot today, because I think it's easy to be like, oh, we can blame it on our parents, but like, it's generational trauma. So like it goes back and back, and there's no one you can pinpoint. It's only like we can take accountability that we have to change it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's beautiful that like we have the chance to do that and break these cycles. And okay, but you were the one that couldn't write the I hate you because, right?
Yeah. So we had to write letters to, I can't remember who we were supposed to write.
Just someone that's hurt you.
Just someone that's hurt us. And for me, like
I had everyone write I hate you because.
Yeah.
And everyone could do it besides Cherry.
I couldn't. I was like, I wrote it on my paper. I wrote I hate you because, and then I had to like scribble it out, because I just like could not write anything down about anyone, because I feel like hate is such a strong like emotion. Like hate is like the farthest end of the scale, and it's such a strong negative emotion that like even when I was little, I don't hate anyone. Like there are people that I really don't like, but I don't hate anyone, because it was just such like a big emotion. And so I had to like scribble out the I hate you because, and I wrote like I don't like you because, and because I just could not like write I hate anyone.
I think it was cool for me to see, because like I easily could write those things, you know, but for you, it was like, I think, because you were writing about your dad, I think. And I think it was so cool for me to see that you wrote, I don't like you because I could just tell you had so much love for your dad.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about you is like, you really have healthy parents. And I think they've always been like healthy, and you've always known, I feel like that your parents love you.
Yeah.
But like, you still like there's still trauma there's still things you have to work through. And so I thought it was really cool that even though you have these amazing parents, like we all have stuff that we have to figure out no matter how you were raised. And yeah, that was cool.
Yeah and I just kind of realized that like, I don't know, I've never felt like I had any work to do, because I never had anything big or bad happen. Like I don't have any traumatic experiences like everyone else, like people that like do stuff like this do. So I was like, oh, I don't really have a need to join any of these groups, because like I don't have anything. And then when girls talk about stuff, I'm not going to be able to relate or like share anything, because like, and it like when we did inner child work and everyone was talking about some of the awful things that had happened to them in their childhood, and I just had to sit there and be like, oh, I had a really good childhood. Like I grew up in a loving home. Like I never went without. I had everything I ever wanted. But I kind of just realized while doing the work that I may have had everything and felt like I had everything I wanted, but there are still little things that like happen when you're little, or tiny little things that are said that like stick in your brain so deeply and kind of engrave in who you are that you have to like work through and stuff. So it's been really cool to like be able to go through and heal like all the little things that I have, because I don't have anything big, but I have a bunch of like little things that need help and assistance. So it's been really cool to be able to go back and kind of band-aid and like help and stuff. So
I love that so much. It makes me so happy talking about this, because I mean I literally see you all the time, every day. So I mean not every day, but we talk like every day. And I see you on Zoom once a week, and we have these events, and so I like love hearing your perspective on everything. Okay, I just wanted to see like if you've seen like a big difference in your relationships with other people, like friends and stuff, as you've healed. Like, do you just feel like you can be way more authentic, way more yourself? I know we've kind of covered this, but I was just curious, like even with your boyfriend, you know?
I feel like I'm definitely don't put up with as much stuff as I used to.
Ooh, okay.
Like I used to be such a people pleaser. I still am, but it was bad. Like I used to be such a people pleaser, and like I didn't like confrontation, and I didn't want to make anyone upset or mad at me. So I just do anything that anyone asked. And I've kind of realized that like me and my boyfriend started dating in January, and then I joined this program in March. And he's been my first boyfriend since the boyfriend that I had in high school. And it's been weird for me to be like able to say no and not feel like he's going to get mad at me.
Yeah.
Because that was such a big thing with my other relationship, is like I'd say no and he'd get so mad and upset. But with like my boyfriend now, like I'll be like, oh, hey, I don't like this. Or like we're able to communicate, and I can communicate without feeling like he's going to get mad at me.
Yeah.
Which is such a huge thing. And I don't feel like the need to be such a people pleaser anymore. Like I'm not going to do things that I don't want to do just because someone else wants me to do them, or stuff like that. And so I think that's been pretty big in all my relationships with my boyfriend and just my friends and even my family. And I've stopped caring what other people think too, which has affected my relationships too. With some of them it's helped, with others it hasn't, because they don't like that I don't care anymore.
Yeah. It shows people's true colors. When you step into your power and who you truly are, people will get intimidated, and they maybe might feel uncomfortable because you're not who that you were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, it's silly, but like I have tattoos and a belly button ring and stuff, and my grandpa hates them. Like, I got my first one, and I like got it in a spot that could be hidden so that he wouldn't see it. But slowly I just like stopped caring, because like it's okay if he doesn't like my tattoos. And like I used to, like with the ones on my arms and stuff, I'd always wear like long sleeves or shirts that could hide it when I was around him, because I didn't want him to make a comment, because he'd always say that he was going to go get the cheese grater or like sandpaper and like grind them off and stuff. But I kind of realized, like, why would I care about stuff like that?
Yeah, why are you living your life for him?
Exactly.
You gotta live your life for you. Even you can love them, but you do need to live your life for you. Yeah.
And like, so when I go to family events anymore, like I'll wear crop tops and stuff, which I used to never do. I'll wear crop tops and I'll show off my tattoos. And my aunt is always, because my sister has a belly button ring too, and my aunt is always like, will you guys please just cover up when you go to grandpa's, because when you guys leave, I have to hear about it. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Like, he can deal with it for the few hours that I see him, and like it'll be okay.
Yeah.
He'll be okay. I promise. So and then like in other situations, like where me just like not caring about other people's opinions, it's helped in my friend group a lot too, because I just not being a people pleaser. And it's weird because the friends that I have now are the friends that I had in high school, and so I think there's this, at this point it's getting to a weird, like, I'm nervous to say this, it's not like any of them are going to listen, but it's getting to this weird point where I mean, one of them are married, and I'm growing like past where I was in high school.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot. So there's moments where I'll be hanging out with them and where I'm like, I feel exactly like the person I was in high school. like it feels like things haven't changed, but things have changed. But just like being with them kind of brings me back to that. And I think that like it's been tricky because I love my friends and I love hanging out with them. But there's also a part of me that feels the need to like, okay, we got to get new friends that are on our level because you are the people you hang out with.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is something that my dad has said for years and years and years. Like, you are the people you hang out with. And I keep thinking, like, do I want to be the people that I'm hanging out with right now? And most of the time the answer is no.
Yeah. And it's not like there's nothing wrong with them. You're just maybe not on the same page.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like I think we're just getting into different phases of life, which is what happens when you're all 20 years old now and not in high school.
Totally.
Like, it's just what happens. But I've been really struggling with it, just like not knowing how to like, I guess, balance it and like still be friends with these people, but also like not let it affect who I am.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, and I also struggle I hate making friends. So the idea of having to go out and make new friends, awful.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I've just sat in the comfortable zone that I'm in for so long. And now that I'm like growing out of it and growing too big for that bubble, it's like, okay, I got to do something now. Like,
yeah. Well, you got your girls.
I do.
Know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, and you know this is coming, but if you could have everybody in the world understand one thing, what would it be?
I would tell everyone to stop being so mean to themselves and to stop being your own biggest bully. Because I think that's a true statement for everyone. And being mean to yourself and having the mean little voice in your head does nothing for you. It doesn't make you better. It only makes you worse, and it makes you feel more negative, and it just puts such a negative energy in that you surround yourself in. And so yeah, I tell everyone that they need to be kinder to themselves and stop bullying themselves, because they're going to be so much happier without it, and they're going to feel lighter, and they're going to be able to do things that they haven't been able to do before because they won't care about the little voice in their head anymore. So, yeah.
I love that. That is literally my favorite thing.
Yeah.
You need to become famous for just that.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think I agreed to come on the podcast?
Yes.
I'm hoping I get lots of followers from this.
Yes. Follow Charity. Well, I absolutely love having you in my program. And it's been so fun because I feel like everyone that's in our program, it's just like, it just fits and it just works. And like everything just works out in your favor. And you just like, I don't know. It's so cool. Just even the fact that I started a program and that you've joined it and now we're like besties. Yes. It's just so fun. Like life is so cool when you just kind of let the universe take the reins and you just do the things and you progress and you heal. And I truly do believe that everything is working out in your favor, you know? Oh. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I'll tag you all the things. And I'm launching the next Healed Girl School program. It's going to start October 15th. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And those are all the things. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. Charity, thank you for having me on your podcast.
You're welcome. I appreciate you being here.
Wait, Jenna Jarvis, and thank you so much. Amen.
Anyway, thank you for coming to the Vulnerability is Cool podcast, my podcast. I am Jenna Jarvis.
Charity, I appreciate that. Wait, one thing I want to add is that Charity is going to get into learning sound bowls. So if you need someone to come do sound bowls for you.
Yes, I'm going to.
Queen over here.
They're on the way, so.
Yes. Okay. Amen. You have to say amen.
Amen.